Hi guys, welcome back to yet another episode of the PS2 Collector. And on this episode I'm going to show you the latest 5 games that I picked up, including a limited edition Japanese game. Stay tuned, you do not want to miss this. Starting off with game number 176, and that is Hurdy-Gurdy for the PS2. So I've never played this game before. This is the first time I've heard about this game, so I thought I'll give it a quick go. And I've got to say, the graphics for its time looks good, but nowadays it seems ridiculously outdated. The frame rate is a huge no-no because the game does buffer there and then and does slow down a bit. For me, for the time, it should have been fixed, especially in the PS2 era. You should not have a game that has a ridiculously low frame rate with the PS2 hardware. And for me, the developers, Eidos, who have a huge reputation, did not look into the fact that this game was not ready for release, and that's my opinion. But yeah, for £2 for a simulator, which is a herding simulator, an action platformer. So it's a, let's say, an action platformer simulation game. For me, it's not my type of game, but for £2, if you do enjoy those type of games, especially a unique game, give Hurdy-Gurdy a go. You might just enjoy it, but for me, it's a huge no-no. £2, no risk. Game number 177 is a wrestling game, and that is, it's not WWE, it is TNA Impact Wrestling. And the first thing that comes to my mind is how on earth in the golden generation of TNA wrestling that they only managed to release one game. Now for me, this game graphically looks amazing. It has aged well, and Booker T in this game, his model is one of the best I've ever seen. This game was released around 2008-2009, and the models look way superior to the games that were released in the PS3, Xbox 360 era. So I've got to give the developers credit for releasing an amazing looking game. The story mode introduces a new character. I won't say his name at the time, but I'm going to go off the name that he used currently, and that is Manic. So it's all about Manic, which was not a wrestler at the time in TNA. Manic was first seen in this game and then got brought back to life in the wrestling world in TNA. But before that, he was in this game where you get taken out by goons and you must rebuild your career from ground up into indie wrestling, Mexican wrestling, all the way up to TNA, which at the time was the second biggest wrestling organization in the world. But this game, how does it play? For its first attempt, I've got to give TNA credit. It was the first ever game, and for me, they did a good job and it did leave a good impression. I want to see where TNA go with the next game, because you've got to understand, getting into the market is really hard, especially for a wrestling game. Look at AEW, for example. They did their first ever game and it absolutely flopped, and it was not as good as it was expected to be. But TNA wrestling at the time, you got to give credit, because I thought that it's going to be a low budget game, but the game looked amazing. The models, as I said before, looked ridiculously like, it looked like a game from a different generation, not a PS2 game. And yeah, but the gameplay, it is a bit clunky, it is a bit repetitive. The wrestling moves, you know, it's quite generic, but you got to give credit for the presentation that they've done for this game. For only £2, if you do enjoy wrestling, and if you do enjoy wrestling games, Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles at the front cover, you know it's going to be money well spent. And guys, give this a go, you will be impressed, no doubt about that. The next game, game number 178, is a fighting game, and that is Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution. So basically this game is Virtua Fighter 4 but with superior graphics. So what you get with this, so this is technically a DLC, a modern day DLC, but back in the days, instead of patching the game, they got it re-released like this. So this game has 15 more extra levels, it has quest mode, updated moves, more characters. It also has the 10th anniversary of the release of the original Virtua Fighter. So this game is the perfect package, and if you have played the original Virtua Fighter 4, which is an amazing game, if you want to get the best version of the game, Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution is the answer. And yeah, if you look at the history of Virtua Fighter, what Virtua Fighter has done for gaming is understated, and now they seem to have returned after 18 years. And for me personally, that is a good thing, because nowadays 3D fighting games look stale, and especially Tekken, and it's good now Tekken has competition, and the future of Virtua Fighter looks great because the PS5 game looks amazing. But we'll see after the final release how the game plays. But back to Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution, this game on the PS2 is one of the best fighters out there, but you gotta understand, at the time 3D fighting games on the PS2 is ridiculously a very good library. Marvel vs. Capcom 2, we got Soul Calibur 2 and 3, we got Tekken 4, 5 Tag Tournament, and we got Virtua Fighter 4. The PS2 amazed me the amount of great legendary fighting games that was on that system, and Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution was one of them. And boys, that is game number 178. Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution for only £10. You won't be disappointed. Trust me, this game is really good. The next game, game number 179, is a game about chocolate. I never knew this game existed. It is, beware, it is only a European exclusive, and that is Smarties Meltdown. Smarties is a chocolate brand under the Nestle banner. It is quite popular in the UK. I'm not sure in America, but this game got torn apart by reviewers. But for me, it's like a guilty pleasure, because even though it is clunky, it has bad camera angles, it has a very slowed down gameplay, and the game doesn't make sense whatsoever. It looks like it's out of its element, because it's really hard to make a game about chocolate. But there is a guilty pleasure, it is a bit of fun to be had. For me, for £2.50 for a game that is unique as this, give it a go, because if you do enjoy action platformers, forget that. If you like Smarties, just give this game a go. £2.50, you can't go wrong, because it is an action platformer, and even though it's a bad game, you might have fun. And that, for me, just go for it. Just go for it, just spend it, just go for it. If you like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. Up to you guys. But yeah, that's game number 179, European exclusive, Smarties Meltdown. Never knew this game existed. Amazing. PS2 just surprises me every time. And the final game of this video, the visual novel, the limited edition Japanese game, I'm gonna say what the translator is called. I have translated this. The relations between them, thinking about dreams and bonds, first time limited edition. So that's the translation of this game. So this game, as you know, is a visual novel, and as you know, in Japan, visual novels, as seen on previous videos, are quite popular in Japan, especially the limited edition. So let's see what we get with this limited edition. So it's quite beautiful because it's 20 years old. So let's open it up. So what we get is this thing here. I'm gonna open this up later on. Then we get the second, we get the base game, which is over here. And what else? We also get the soundtrack. The soundtrack for the game, look at that. It has got a front cover, but it's at the back. And yeah, so let's open the extra package. Is there anything else in there? No. So let's put this to the side. Right, so what do we get in here? Game number 180. Right, oh, what's this? Right, it's sealed quite shut. Let's open it up, and we get, it's quite heavy, this. Ooh, just look at that. It's just like a ring. It's a ring, people. It's a ring, and it's proper heavy. They don't mess about with this in limited edition in Japan, let me tell you. Wow, just look at that. Look at that ring. Look at the detail on that. Wow. And at the back, it's just the measurements, I think, if you look over there. But yeah, you get a ring with it, and let me try on. Look at that. That is an amazing ring. And yeah, with visual novels in Japan, there's just so many out there, and I tend to get limited editions, especially for games like these. So yeah, that's the final game of this video, a visual novel. And for me, like I said in my previous videos, I can't say if you're gonna enjoy or not gonna enjoy visual novel. It's for the unique audience that do enjoy those type of games. And again, since they were only released in Japan, there's no translation, unfortunately. You must either play it with a phone translator. Unfortunately, that's the best way to play this game, or if someone gets the game and translates it into English, that's the best way to play it. But yeah, for only £25, it is a limited edition. But without the limited edition, it goes around £3 or £4. But with the package and the big, huge, massive ring here, it does go for £25. But for me, it is well spent because I do collect visual novel limited editions. But yeah, that's the final game of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe. If you want to know when my videos come online, click on the bell notification below. Anyway guys, until next time, and don't forget to subscribe. Take care guys.